Hello and welcome back to the channel where we have a new Fireteam guide for you. We're going to be covering the basics today and also going to a few extra little bits for the slightly more experienced players, but they're still a bit confused by the new update. Along with this, please do check the description as you're going to find a link to a playlist with all my Fireteam content. That's going to be my gameplay videos, my guides and tip videos if I get round to it. Like I explained earlier, this section is for complete beginners. And for that reason, we're going to be starting on the team selection page. This is where you start out when you initially join the server, and all you really need to do here is pick a team. This stage will be greeted by a few boxes on your screen, and this is where you're going to choose your fire team, you're going to pick your role, and finally you're going to select your weapon and the attachments you want on that weapon. Now, one major thing I want you to take away from this guide is to let others create fire teams. If you're new and just unsure of what you're doing, you're going to want to just take a smaller role, and that's why Rifleman is going to be your best option, where all you need to do is follow commands and shoot. Once you've selected your fire team and your role, customize your weapon how you wish and experiment with the attachments. See what you end up using. It's personal preference at the end of the day, however I do recommend starting out with a magnified optic. Generally, a bigger optic means more magnification. If all's gone to plan, you're in your fire team, you've got your role and your weapon set. Now you should be on the deployment menu. If it is a new round, you'll be clicking the deploy button. However, if you're joining mid-round, which is most likely, check to see if your team has a rally first. If they do, the amount of tickets left on the rally will show up in the bar. That rally is going to put you in a better position to help your fire team out sooner. From this point forward, you're on your own. Well, kind of. Your fire team is there for you to ask questions and get guidance from, and of course return the favour and help them out if you can too. Though I can't hold your hand the rest of the way, I can give you some very useful advice to carry forward. To start off, we're going to discuss some of the major attachments you might have on your weapon. When using your laser, do your best to not turn it on unless you're engaging a target, as especially at night it gives away your location very easily. Use your torch with similar principles to your laser, but remember it's most effective in TQB. It'll give you some good visibility, and it can also be useful to blind your enemies too. Let's revisit the communication stuff real quick. When you're a rifleman in particular, you need to be paying attention to what your FTL is telling you, as you're usually the one at the front. Keep an eye out on the map for green markers, as these indicate different things. They're pretty self-explanatory, but there's a move, observe, attack and defend marker. They will always be visible on the map, where you can zoom in to see a more precise location, as well as they appear as a 3D waypoint for a short period when initially placed. In the future, you'll get an icon on your compass too, but that isn't in yet. If you're not getting any specific orders from your FTL, however, just stick with your fire team and do your best to contribute to the fight from there. Whenever engaging the enemy, the centre of mass is your primary target. It's the biggest part of the body, therefore you're most likely to hit it. Of course though, sometimes it won't be visible, and that's when you just want to aim for the largest part of the enemy you can see. At this stage you should have a pretty good idea of how to shoot and what to look for, so let's switch to the ears, shall we? Audio cues are very useful in Fireteam and allow you to work out the enemy's location and realise they're just around the corner too sometimes. For example, if you're in market and clearing out an area, listen for footsteps in the distance. You can hear shots flying over your head, listen for the source and then do your best to work out the direction. Just remember you have more options to find the enemy than just traces and luck. Something you'll be doing a lot is walking. However, if you walk wrong, because yes, you can kind of do that, you might end up taking a lap to the face, which isn't fun, is it? When walking with your fire team, do your best to stay close, but not too close, as where a grenade could blow you all up. This also applies if you're in tight spaces, where it is a little bit more difficult, but if it means moving to a different area, it means moving to a different area. As well as when you're walking, positioning when firing can get you spotted or not. Your goal is to keep as much of your character hidden, in particular that centre of mass. Crouching and proning are a massive help in doing this, and as a plus side they reduce recoil a bit too. As well as crouching and proning, leaning is very useful when peeking around the corners. Before I leave you to it, I just want to go over the advanced and secure game mode briefly. Your aim when playing AAS is to try and drain the enemy's 250 tickets. You do this by progressing through the objectives, reducing the enemy's points and gaining more on the way. A big thing that all players need to be aware of is the importance of defending and working as a team. Because if you aren't defending your vulnerable objective, they're just going to walk straight in and put you at a massive disadvantage. Now that was a lot of information, so I don't expect you to have taken it all in first time. But once you feel I've gotten used to the Rifleman class and how the game works, try checking my Fireteam playlist for more tips and in-depth guides on some of the other roles. If you're watching this release, there won't be as many there, but in the near future, the stash should grow. I wish you all luck, and I will speak to you next time. Goodbye. Oh, finally, I can go and sleep. Oh, no! No. Lads, wake up! We're being shot at!
Get shot at!
Get up! Move behind here now!
Take this and stay
Get
down.
just no range! Bear 109 now! Go! Go!